guys, well, it's time for another movie review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Hellraiser Revelations. Now, I'm a fan of the Hellraiser series. I have actually all the movies right here. I'm a fan of the first four, really. 1 through 4 I like a lot because I thought they flowed very well together. They were all really well connected. We got more stories as they went on, and some pretty cool action in those ones. Same cannot be said with the ones after those, though. I really didn't care for 5 through 8 because those ones just didn't feel like Hellraiser movies. These ones just felt like they were just they were just making a regular movie. Then they just threw Pinhead and the Cenobites in there just for more money, just for more sales on the DVDs. Because 1 through 4 were in theater. Those ones were just straight to DVD releases, and so I just did not really like them. I mean, Pinhead and Cenobites are just barely even in them. And so I got this one, and I had actually some low-end expectations for this one, because after reading what was going on when they made this movie, and also after I saw the trailer, I had some low expectations because I did not like the trailer of this movie. And I've read this movie was only made just so the company doesn't lose the Hellraiser rights. I mean, the rights to the Hellraiser movies, I'm sorry. And so, they just wrote a script and hired Victor Garcia and gave him $300,000 to make this movie. And they rushed into production as well. Although, one thing I did like was the fact that Victor Garcia directed this movie, because he directed Return to House on Haunted Hill and Mirrors 2, two movies which I actually like. So I was excited to hear that he was directing it, though. But for one thing, this was the first Hellraiser movie without Doug Bradley playing Pinhead. So, I was just wondering, without Doug Bradley, would this movie actually be good? I mean, how would this guy be as Pinhead, this new guy? But, I did hear, though, that this one was actually written as a Hellraiser movie, unlike the ones after the fourth one. So they let me just go back and say that they made this movie just so they don't lose the rights to the Hellraiser movies, because they've been wanting to direct a Hellraiser remake for a while. As a matter of fact, I just read recently that they actually became this close to getting the remake off its feet, but for some reason now it's delayed again. And Patrick Lucia, the director of My Bloody Valentine, was originally going to direct it, but he's not anymore. And Todd Farmer, the writer of My Bloody Valentine, was originally going to write it, but he's not anymore either. So it's delayed again. And so I just bought this movie with low expectations. I mean, I was still going to see it despite not liking the trailer and hearing all the production stuff, only because I'm a Hellraiser fan. And this was the first Hellraiser movie I bought on Blu-ray. So, let me get into this movie. Okay, so, just like the other straight-to-DVD movies, this one, is its own movie. It's about these two boys who just, leave to go to, Mexico, filming their adventures to Mexico on their video camera. Starts out filmed through the video camera, so it's almost like, the Blair Witch Project, Paranormal Activity, that way through a video camera. And while they're in Mexico, they just get drunk, party, and meet this homeless guy who gives them the familiar box. The box that obviously unleashes Pinhead and the Cenobites. So they open it, and then they disappear. And then it cuts to 1 year later, where the two boys, their parents, are having this dinner together for the memory of their missing boys. So it's like the anniversary of when they went missing. and obviously they were all like torn apart because they're missing boys. But then one of their sons shows up all terrified of what just happened, all the experience he just went through. He's hyperventilating, having nightmares, but the other boy is still missing, so they're trying to like just get answers from him, like where is his friend, where is he? But of course they have like some video proof on the video camera that went missing with them, that since they filmed when they opened the box and unleashed Pinhead and the Cenobites. Obviously Pinhead and the Cenobites are still after them, of course. I mean, also to go back to that this was written as a Hellraiser movie, that you can definitely tell that this was written as a Hellraiser movie, since Pinhead and the Cenobites was not barely in this one like they were in the 5, 6, 7, and 8th one. They were nearly like the main characters in this one. And also brought back some elements from the early Hellraiser movies, since in the first and second one we saw that when they kill someone and blood pours out from like where that person dies, they get brought back all skinless and they need more blood to get like their skin back. So they brought that element back in this one. I mean, it's like one of the boys gets killed by Pinhead, and then the other boy starts killing some like hookers. That way, hey, they bleed to death and they collect the blood, and then brings the one boy back to life, all skinless, and he needs more blood to get his skin back to become whole again. And I won't go like further into that though, because that would give away like the big climax at the end, which I do not want to give away because it was like shocking, very intense for the climax. Climax is obviously the best part of this movie, and I was just happy that Pinhead and the Cenobites actually were in this one more. They were like nearly the main characters. And one thing, there was this one Cenobite that Pinhead made to look like him. He put like all the pins in that one Cenobite's head, almost like creating his own son or something, his own puppet, if I would say. I wasn't too crazy for the new guy that played Pinhead. I mean, I didn't think he did bad, but I didn't think he really did good. He was okay as Pinhead. He was definitely okay. But he didn't really seem like he was copying Doug Bradley's performance. Almost felt like he did his own version of Pinhead, which I liked. I mean, this movie definitely brought back all the gross elements of the previous ones. I mean, the first 4 brought that back. So this one, to me, I actually kind of liked. I mean, I actually kind of liked this one. So, well, this one I actually would recommend over the ones after the 4th one. Despite Doug Bradley didn't play Pinhead in this one, which was I thought was a minor downfall of that. But I hear things that Doug Bradley turned it down because this wasn't being rushed in production, or I hear things that Doug Bradley just doesn't want to play Pinhead anymore. So one day when they do make the Hellraiser remake, I'm not going to expect Doug Bradley to play Pinhead. Maybe for all I know, maybe this guy will play Pinhead. Maybe it's going to be his time to shine. So, well, I can definitely tell, and obviously the viewers of this movie will definitely tell this was rushed into production, since there weren't really that many location shootings as well. So, but one cool thing was the gore special effects. I mean, we had things like people's faces being torn off. We had some chains cutting through people's flesh. Almost like bringing back the Clive Barker look from the first movie. And second, third, and fourth, since Clive Barker was involved in those ones as well. Wasn't involved in any other ones. So, Victor Garcia, I actually thought did a pretty good job. I was hoping that there was a making of in this movie, but no, there was no making of, because I think it's because it was rushed in production, so they didn't film any interviews or anything. There were deleted scenes though. So I actually like this movie overall. I recommend it. I mean, it's a redeeming Hellraiser movie. Definitely be worth checking out in my opinion. And I'm actually glad it's the first one I brought on Blu-ray. And I think that about wraps it up. Okay, just to wrap up, I like this overall, and I recommend it. That'll be all. Stay tuned for my next review.